Hello everybody, welcome back to another review, and today we're reviewing a film that I've been really excited about reviewing for a long time, Freddy vs. Jason. Now, when I was about 7-8 years ago, this film was really grown on me. I really enjoyed it back then because it's like, who wouldn't enjoy it? Because you see, the one thing I always got was I wish Jason was a little more fast moving like he was, and he was more angrier. I really prefer that kind of Jason to the more like lumbering type of Jason. So, and I've heard stuff about Kane, that the only reason they didn't bring Kane back was because it was close to Vancouver, or even because Ken Kersinger lived in Vancouver, so when they were shooting in Vancouver, so it was easier. I've heard that, or what some people think is Kane was more of a tenured guy, so he had more of an opinion on Jason, so he would have told Ron and you, Jason wouldn't do this, or he wouldn't do these type of things. So, but let's get to the positive of this film. I think that the final girl's really grown on me over the years. She's played by Monica Kenna. She's really I say she wasn't that good, but with all she's been through, she's a pretty good final girl. She's not top tier in this franchise because I'm gonna be ranking those soon, but nor is she top tier in the Elm Street franchise, but she's still really good in this film. I think that Jason Ritter doesn't do that good. I mean, I think he does a decent job. I know him from Gravity Falls because he played Dipper or voice acted. So I like Mark's character, who's Will's friend. I think the premise of this movie, they did a really good job at coming up with it. So this film basically takes place right after Freddy's dead and Jason goes to hell. And Jason's in hell because he's masked. If you remember, he was dragged down at the end of part 9 at the end of Jason Goes to Hell. And Freddy was killed at the end of Freddy's Dead, the final nightmare. So, and Freddy needs to get fear again to come back and be able to be remembered and spread his nightmares and do his, invade people's dreams again. So he needs Jason to come kill for him in real life to get his name popular again. And this body count is pretty Jason heavy. I think Freddy only has one actual kill the whole film. And let's talk about Freddy real quick, because Freddy, Robert Englund, this is his last portrayal of the character, and boy does he do a good job. He does a great job. I've seen some people who say this is their favorite Freddy since part 3. I like part 4 Freddy a lot, but I'm not gonna lie to you. Robert Englund in this film, he has this great mix of horror and comedy, like this same kind of thing he was doing in Dream Warriors. And it's amazing this was his swan song. I'm thankful that they were able to get him back for this one. So, because who would have wanted his swan song being Freddy's Dead? Nobody wanted that as his final film. He deserved a great film to go out on. I wish there could have been a sequel to this where he could have came back. And I really hope they make some animated thing where he can voice act as Freddy again, because Robert Englund he is Freddy, And now Jason's actor, Ken Kersinger, I want to say, I don't think does the worst job, but because he actually, I believe he was a stunt double, or not a stunt double, he was a double for Jason when, I think in part 8, he also played that waiter in the rest of the diner or something, where he tries to get up in Jason's face in part 8 and Jason just throws him into the mirror. But he plays Jason a lot more like Lumber. I know Ronnie Yu, the director, wanted him to be more like Frankenstein's monster, kind of more sympathetic and less, and antagonistic. Basically, he's more like a puppet in this film. Speaking of Ronnie Yu, he made one of my favorite horror comedies of all time, Bride of Chucky. If you watch that one from '98, I believe. Everything about that film I really enjoy. I feel like it really reinvented the Child's Play franchise. It really did. And he's very big on these, in this film he's big on the big knockbacks and the kicks that send someone go flying. I think if I'm not mistaken, Ronnie was influenced by a lot of Hong Kong film, fight scenes and things, 'cause I believe he's a Hong Kong director from Hong Kong, and I think he does a good job. Now that like I said, when you have a crossover film like this, it takes a lot of different studio work and stuff, and people disagree because it's two big franchises. Now New Line own both of them, but a lot of writers are coming together for this. And it worked out really good to make that premise about, Freddy needing Jason to like kill people to get his name back. That's a pretty effective plot. And there are some good deaths in this film. There's, I believe, Trey, the first guy that gets impaled or stabbed multiple times and folded in half by the bed. And, this is the second time in the Friday the 13th franchise. Let's all cheer for Jason. He stopped a rape again. So, one of our main characters, I think it's Kip or something like that. She's one of the side. She's a main character, but she's drunk and she's on the ground and she's this creepy glow stick looking dude with big white blonde hair tries to get on top of her, and Jason impales him. So Jason, fuck rapists. Again. And so that's when Freddy gets kind of mad because Jason killed another kid in the real world, and that was his job, basically. Was to kill them. Jason was just supposed to get some fear. Kill a couple, get fear, then go home. So now Freddy's mad at Jason, and then their fight starts in the dream world. It's pretty funny. The pinball part. It's more goofy, just shenanigans. A lot of stuff you'd see in probably Part 4 Dream Master. But this movie does not disappoint. It gives us the final confrontation we wanted. It is gory, and we see the two just go at each other. First, these spikes or I don't know, like construction things, come down and impale Jason. Freddy launches torpedoes at him, like these air tanks, and a cart hits both of them or something, sends them onto this dock, and then they're slashing at each other. Freddy sticks his claws into Jason's eyes and gouges them out, and then Jason rips Freddy's arm off. They both get burnt, and whenever Freddy's about to kill the final girl and her boyfriend Will, Jason stabs him right through his chest with his own finger knives, and then and then Freddy gets decapitated, and we're given the ending, which is very ambiguous. We see Jason carrying Freddy's severed head out of the water. So who won? Because before it cuts to the credits, we see Freddy wink at the camera. So even though Jason's carrying the head like a trophy, Freddy winked. So it might still be a dream. It's not done yet for Freddy. Now, unfortunately, this was the final of the continuity of the Friday the 13th films. After this, the original timeline is done. And while they both went to get remakes, surprisingly, the Friday the 13th 2009 remake is actually a pretty good film. I mean, it's not the best, but it's a decent remake. Because it doesn't just strictly move to like part 1. It also covers the first 4, like bunches them down in one thing. And I like some aspects of it. It's a decent film. I can't say the same for a Nightmare on Elm Street's remake, which I already covered about a month ago. That movie is terrible. Like, it is extremely terrible. But we still have one more movie to go in the Friday the 13th marathon. And then we're moving on to a choice of 3 franchises. Now, I put a poll up a couple weeks ago, I think. So the choices are Hellraiser, which, please, guys, if you want me to cover that, I'll cover it. But really, the first 2 are the only good ones. And then there's Child's Play, which probably the one, if you guys don't vote, I'll probably cover that on my own. Just like, I'll make that the default, and then Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which I'm thinking about covering possibly next year, sometime April. I know I want to cover Scream in September, so that's the goal. But I love you guys. Until the next one, stay blessed. Christ loves you. Take care.